King. Senator Sheehy, you are recognized.
Thanks, Senator King. Those were great questions. I think they were right on target. How old is the design for the Minuteman III missile system?
The Minuteman III was initially fielded in the 1960s.
Okay, so probably older than both of us and most people here, I think. So
maybe not me, Senator.
Well, you look young, so how often do we test new airplanes?
All new airplanes undergo a rigorous testing program before they're certified for flight operations.
And how often are we testing our submarines and our spacecraft?
In essence, we operate them every day. If you
Right.
think about that as reinforcing their capabilities.
And after we put a plane or a submarine through a relatively routine maintenance period, do we conduct sea trials and tests on that vessel or aircraft afterwards?
Absolutely.
So essentially, we're constantly testing our aircraft and our submarines and our rockets and our space infrastructure. Would that be accurate?
I would agree with that characterization.
And when was the last time we conducted a full-scale test of our nuclear capability?
We have a rigorous testing program with our nuclear capabilities, and that occurs by, with, and through the services. And every leg of the triad is tested rigorously, and I have absolute confidence in that those systems will perform if we ever need them to perform.
But when was the last time we tested a nuclear weapon?
An actual nuclear weapon? I'd have to take that as a lookup and get back to you. But we haven't tested one since we ratified the Limited Test Ban Treaty in 1963.
Which is a good thing. I'm glad we ratified that treaty, and I agree with it. But we essentially test every other system we have constantly in a full-scale test environment. And models are great. Software systems are fantastic. But at the end of the day, as you well know as a submariner, King Neptune is a very unforgiving lord. And things go wrong at the bottom of the ocean. Things go wrong at the edge of space, in the air. And models always tell us things will go great. And experts tell us opinions. Unfortunately, sometimes physics tells us otherwise. So I think much ado is being made about the president's comments yesterday, which simply are saying a lot of other countries are conducting nuclear tests of various kinds, whether they be delivery vehicle tests, aircraft tests, or full-scale explosions. And on an equal basis, I have instructed the Department of War to start testing our nuclear weapons on an equal basis. That doesn't mean we're going to start blowing up nukes outside of Las Vegas every other day. It doesn't mean we're going to be dropping nukes over Fiji. It means we're going to be testing on an equal basis. And I don't think that's at all an unreasonable position to take for the commander-in-chief of the largest military in the world that's operating 60-year-old missile systems in my state against an adversary that is innovating hypersonic glide vehicles, very maneuverable drones, perhaps even orbiting nukes that we hopefully don't think they're there, but they very well may be, that are going to absolutely test the very fabric of our nuclear infrastructure. So I understand the concerns of we don't want to provoke a nuclear war, but we also have trusted in everybody else in the world that they're going to abide by a treaty that we signed 60 years ago. And I think as we've seen with other people we've signed treaties for, they oftentimes don't abide by them. And they are focused on undermining us every way we can. So I think testing every component of our nuclear triad, which we do to a certain extent, but ensuring we're testing on an equal basis is an extremely reasonable ask of our military. And I think it's the least we can do. So spectrum is going to be the trenches of the 21st century battlefield. Space is the ultimate high ground. We've had a few discussions about spectrum here, but what is going to be your strategy as commander here to ensure that we have spectrum dominance both domestically and on any battlefield in the 21st century?
We've got to continue along all efforts to advance our spectrum capabilities. That includes world-class test ranges, modeling and simulation, and testing ourselves against the most exquisite capabilities that are out there, and that's where the Joint Force is headed. With respect to your comments on testing, I agree with how you framed that and the sentiment that you expressed. if confirmed as the STRATCOM commander, I, would continue to look to support, the president's directives and work with this committee in a very transparent way on the way ahead.